Cooking with Steve.
Hello and welcome to Cooking with Steve. Thanks for joining us for another episode. As you may have noticed, it's been about a week since our last episode. While we have seen a Cooking with Kenzie, it's been about a week since you've seen a Cooking with Steve. The reason is obvious. You may notice something new on my face. I have been busy this past week growing this beautiful mustache. Very Italian. The reason we grew an Italian, I grew an Italian mustache is because we are having the Meatball special, otherwise known as the Balls of Meat special. As you will see here, we have some ingredients. These are going to be classic Italian meatballs. We have 3 pounds of 80/20 ground chuck, some breadcrumbs, Parmesan, that's the grated Parmesan. Is that, yeah, it's grated. Okay, cool. A couple things of garlic there, some parsley, some basil, otherwise known as basil, salt, pepper, and leaf oregano. We would use fresh oregano, but our plants are not big enough yet. Also, we're going to need a couple eggs for this. Here we have our ingredients for our basic spaghetti sauce, but since we have included that in a video, we are not going to detail how we create the spaghetti sauce, but I will show you how it comes into play later in the episode. So let me get all set up and prepare a few items here, and we will come right back on the Italian Mafia edition of Cooking with Steve. Oh, there you are. Hello and welcome back to Cooking with Steve, the Meatball Italian edition. As you see here on our cutting board, I did a little bit of prep work while you were away. I have diced up very finely all of our garlic. I diced up all of that basil, and I diced up all of that parsley. What we're going to do here is take our knife like a true Italian and put that into our 3 pounds of meat like that there. You may be wondering to yourself, Steve, where do your green eyes come from? You may recall on a past episode I mentioned that I am an Italian. Well, actually I'm an American with Italian roots. My mom has green eyes. That's where mine come from. My mom is half Italian. My grandma is full-blown Mafia Sicilian Italian. God rest her soul. So a couple facts about meatballs. Meatballs are actually an American dish. You may think to yourself, hang on a second, emergency. Our water has come to a boil. Let's take that lid off there. Ow. Ow. Okay. Anyway, spaghetti meatballs are an American dish that was created by Italian immigrants who came over to America. You will not find spaghetti and meatballs in Italy because, again, it's an Italian-American dish. Americanized Italian food. Let's just go with that. But as you saw on The Godfather, which you may have seen, and also on Goodfellas, they make Italian spaghetti and meatballs is made very often by Italian Americans and Mafia members. So into our meat, you will see we've added the herbs and the garlic. I'm going to take some oregano and add that. Again, I would prefer fresh oregano, but the plants we have in the back have not grown to the appropriate size yet. So oregano's in there. We're going to add some salts. Boom. And this is purely American black pepper to our meat. What we will be doing now, there we go. Let's go with first some breadcrumbs. We're going to say about 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs. And this is my own little trick. This is what separates my meatballs from the just basic meatballs that you buy at the store or that you get at disgusting places like Olive Garden. Got some grated Parmesan cheese. We're going to do about 1/4, probably a little bit more of 1/4 than 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. And we're going to add an egg. This is an American chicken egg. Now that's a chicken that was actually raised, it's an American chicken that was raised in Italy, and I imported these eggs specifically for this dish. So that's what you'll see right here. I'm gonna go in there with my hands and mix all this together, and we'll create the balls. See you in just a few minutes. Hello and welcome back to Cooking with Steve, the Balls of Meat edition. As you'll see here, we did have to add a second chicken egg to our meatballs, but we've got it all mixed together. What we will do now is we're going to roll these out into meatballs and place them on a sheet pan. We have our oven preheated at 375 degrees. Now meatball size is a thing of your own preference. I actually like meatballs to be a little bit bigger, like that. Some people like them smaller, but keep in mind the size of your meatball will affect the time that it takes to cook them. At this size, I did 375 for about 28 minutes. So I'm going to roll all of these meatballs out, put them in the oven, and we will come back when it's time to take them out. So, see you then. Kick as a DJ. And welcome back to Cooking with Steve. Here, we have rolled out all of our meatballs. I have some dried oregano, dried basil. I'm just going to top these off with some of our seasonings just to give it a little extra flavor before we throw them in the into the oven. There we go. And this is going to also help to scent our kitchen. So, again, preheated oven, 375. These are going to go in for approximately 27 minutes to start. While we're waiting for that to cook, we are going to get our spaghetti sauce together on the stove. So we will see you in about 28 minutes when we pull these meatballs out of the oven. See you then. Ciao. Thank you for joining us on Cooking with Steve in the middle of a major Mathews family meltdown. As you can hear, the oven is beeping because the meatballs are about finished. What we're doing is we're taking our fresh herbs and adding them to our sauce real quick, like that there. Stir that around really very quickly. Perfect. All right.
Beeping?
Let's hit this, let's stop that beeping. This wood thing here, we got that, my wife and I, we went to St. Lucia, which is down in the Caribbean, for our anniversary on,
that was actually...
or not our anniversary, that was our honeymoon. Whoa, that was a long time ago. We got that by some real St. Lucian guy. He carved that out of some driftwood. As you can see here, we have our meatballs that are definitely finished. Here is the X factor. And while I'm doing this, what we're going to do here is we're going to place these meatballs into the sauce. And that is our finish on the meatballs. Just to give you a little idea of where this recipe comes from, a while ago when I was just a young tot, it was before I was made, I was hanging out on the street just trying to gain a little bit of street cred when a friend of mine that I was growing up with, we just did a little business together on the street, you know, stuff to make some money for our families, and he told me this recipe, so that's where it came from. His name was Dante. Anyway, so we got all these meatballs going into the sauce here. Our water's boiling. We're going to leave them in the sauce until our spaghetti is completely cooked. We're going to get everything together and we will come back to you for, yeah, that's right. You definitely guessed it and said it out loud. Tasting time.
Construction.
No, we don't need to construct. This is easy. It's spaghetti meatballs. We will see you for tasting time. See you then. Hello. And welcome back to Cooking with Steve, the Italian meatball special. You have joined us today for tasting time. We're going to do this a little bit different than we normally do for a few reasons. Number one, Mackenzie has kickboxing today, so she's tasting right now. What do you think?
It's good.
That's all you've got to say.
Very meaty.
Is that because you had a major meltdown just a few minutes ago?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, so anyway, come right back. Steph, over here, please. So we're gonna come back in a few minutes. We're gonna let some visitors who are gonna come over try a few meatballs, and then we'll continue on with tasting time at that point. See you then.
Hi, welcome back to Cooking with Steve. I'm going to taste this meatball. Delicious.
What do you think, Alex?
I'm going to take one bite.
Wow, that's a big bite, dude.
Delicious.
Delicious, huh?
So good. Delicious. Why do you have a mustache?
Very good. Very good.
This is Steve, the father-in-law, my lovely wife Stephanie's dad. So we'll come back in just a minute here, and we're going to do the finale of Tasting Time with
Hello,
me.
and welcome back
to the final segment of Tasting Time on the Italian Meatball edition of Cooking with Steve. As you just saw there, that was what the final plate looks like. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth here. I don't typically exaggerate on my shows, and I'm not going to now. These are the best meatballs you will ever have, I promise you. I'm serious. They are so good. Okay. Thanks, buddy. Please, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, share, like, and comment on this video. Please see the links for my GoFundMe page for the new grill. We're only $25 to our goal. Only $25 to our goal. Also, see the referral code for a free Uber ride, and follow me on Twitter and Facebook at CookingWSteve. Thank you again for watching, and see ya next time.
Cooking with Steve.